The first sound you're going to be teaching your student is the sound of A as in apple. Set up a schedule. For best results, teach 30 minutes per day, 5 days per week. If that is impossible, do a minimum of 15 minutes per day. It may take a few days to complete an entire lesson, but try to work at least 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Pull out this sheet and show it to your student. This is the sound of A as in apple. Can you say A?
Ah.
Okay, make sure the student says it correctly. If not, have the student say it a few more times.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
Okay. Tap A.
Ah.
Great. Give the student another star. Tap A.
Ah. Ah.
Very good. Give the student another star. Cut this sheet of vowels into its sections. Your student will read the vowels on these cards out loud until he or she can recognize the sounds and gets familiar with reading from left to right. This can be done sitting next to each other or across the table. Tell the student you're going to read these sounds starting right here.
Ah.
Student reads from left to right while pointing to each sound.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
That's great. Be sure to acknowledge the student after reading each card.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
Great.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
Good. Continue in this way until your student can say the sound of A and is able to read it on straight lines from left to right. By the end of the lesson, your student should have a solid grasp of the sound of A and be able to recognize it and say it correctly, plus be able to write it. If not, simply have him or her get more practice by doing any of the following. Redo the lesson from the beginning, play more games with the sounds, practice more writing. This is the most exciting lesson because now your student is going to make words for the very first time. Set up the whiteboard as shown above. Now we're going to make words. Remember to keep score as you go and keep everything a game and keep it fun. Now, how do you say this?
Mom.
Okay, do you know who mom is, right?
Yes.
Great. This is important. You want your student to connect with the words and their meanings. Tell them what the word means and make sure they understand it. You can ask them for an example from your student or you can give them one. How do you say this?
Mat.
Good. Do you know what a mat is?
A little carpet.
That's right. Cut these out, mix them up, have your student read these to you. Remember your game options. Student writes the words as he or she learns them. I want to stress the writing here because I have students that like to read the word on the whiteboard and then they like to write them so it really solidifies it with them. Also, you can play hide and seek or you can play the buzzing game. By the end of this lesson, your student should have a solid grasp of the words in this lesson. He or she should be able to recognize and say them correctly and know what they mean. If not, simply have him or her get more practice by doing any of the following. Redo the lesson from the beginning, play more games with the words, or practice more writing.